Let's explore how to create an engaging presentation. Starting with Adobe Spark, Spark Page is a web page creator that gives you a platform to share text, images, and videos on a full screen scale to give your readers an in-depth experience to scroll through your slides anywhere and anytime. From there, you can move into professional presentations using Adobe InDesign, and finally, collaborate with others and finalize with Acrobat. So let's jump in. Let's start a presentation with Adobe Spark. Now with Adobe Spark, you can easily transform your ideas into compelling visual stories in the form of social imagery called posts, web pages, and video for students of all ages. Now you can see a final project here in the form of a Spark page. This lesson is based on a lesson found on edx.adobe.com. To jumpstart your project, you can start from one of the many templates available or start from scratch in Spark. After selecting the web page option, you'll be taken to your page where you can start adding your own content. Now this web page can be displayed as a presentation, which you can see up here, but we'll take a look at that toward the end. Now to start, you can add a title and a subtitle to your page. You can then add an image to the background by tapping down here. Now you can use your own images or search through free Creative Commons licensed images. Once the image is in place, you can start to scroll down the page and add the rest of the content to your presentation. From individual images, it can appear in a number of ways, to buttons in social video, to text, to even a split layout, and more. You can add all types of content. Now to start, add what you need, like maybe some introductory text here. After you add your text, you have some simple formatting options available. Now the pluses that appear around the content are used to add more content. For a presentation, I might try to make sections of content that will be treated like slides in the presentation. So in this case, maybe adding an image by tapping Image. I'll search for an image and find one. And with images, they start out in line, but you can change their layout in a lot of different ways you can see here. Now for the next section, I want to add a grid of images. That way we can tap on one of the images and see a slideshow. So tapping the plus here, you can select the photo grid option. Now once again, you can use your own images or search through free Creative Commons licensed images. As you add them, they can be reordered, and you can even resize them, maybe making one of them larger than the rest. After saving this, you can add a few more sections. I'll add another photo here, searching once again through Creative Commons licensed images and finding one I want. In this case, I don't want the image to be in line. I want to try something a little bit different. For this one, I want to have some text over the top, so I'll choose to fill the screen. Once you do that, you can then add a caption. Okay, with some content started here, Spark pages come preloaded with themes that control the overall look and feel of the page. You can choose one if you want up here. And it affects the text and the colors throughout your presentation. With Spark, you can also add different branding to your projects as well, maybe using school colors or a logo. On the Spark website up here, you can go to your branding section. You can create a new brand and upload logos, choose colors and fonts to use, and use that in your different projects. I'll choose one I created, and Spark will automatically place the logo and the name of the page so that your brand follows you through your different projects. Now after I add all my content, I might go back and create a few more sections. You can quickly preview the presentation and just simply scroll through it up here. Now I'll exit out of this. You can also choose to present the document as a presentation. And when you do that, you can go from content section to section using your arrow keys right and left. Now if I see something I don't like here, you can always press Escape to exit, go back and change the content or add new sections. Now you can also save your page by printing it to PDF or a printer up here, or publish and copy the link to share it over the web. You can even invite others to edit the document here. That way you can edit the document as a tag team, so to speak, and only the owner can publish or update the link. And you've got yourself a presentation. Now for students that want to take that next step in creating presentations, Adobe InDesign is the go-to for professional layout design, and that includes making presentations. Now to start in InDesign, you can choose from a variety of free templates or create your own design. Just make sure that the content you're using is appropriately licensed and attributed. Now, if you want to start from scratch, you can choose Web from the new document dialog box here. That way, the color and units are set for on-screen viewing. You can then choose a page size and add any number of pages you want and get started. With your document open, you can start with the first page and add content to your opening slide. Now, we'll add the content for the first slide, and you can use what you learned to create the rest. We'll start by adding an image you have. So choose File, Place. In the dialog that opens, you can navigate to your image and open it up. You can now drag to place and size it on your page, and drag it into position if you need to. Now, to add a shape over the image so you can more easily see text you create, select the rectangle tool over here in the toolbar and drag to create a shape. To fill it with a color, you can go to the Properties panel on the right over here where you can see Fill and Stroke or Border. Click the fill color and select a color to change it to. To make the rectangle more transparent so it looks a little bit more interesting, change the opacity here. Now you can add some text. So select the Type tool over there in the toolbar and drag to make a text frame. Then type in your text, pressing Return or Enter to make a new paragraph if you need. Okay, to move the text and change its formatting, select the Selection tool, this black arrow. Now in the Properties panel, you should see the text formatting, like font here and size here. And to change the color fill so it's readable, click Fill. Make sure that you're affecting the text within the frame and choose something like paper, which is white. Last step here is to align the text to center by clicking Align Center. Now you can drag all of the content into place and you've got your first slide. You can now scroll down to the next page and using what you just learned, add similar content like you see here. With our presentation content underway, you can also add interactivity to the document like video, audio, buttons, links to websites, and more. We'll add a simple button for users to learn more. You'll start by creating another shape. So select the rectangle tool again and draw a shape. Fill it with a color in the Properties panel. And to add a little text to the button, select the Type tool and drag to make a text frame. You can then type your button text in. All right, to make some text formatting changes, you can select the Selection tool in the toolbar again and go over to the Properties panel and change the font size, the font, or whatever you need to do. Then drag them together and put them somewhere on the page. Okay, to add the interactivity, select the button shape and you'll open the Buttons and Forms panel, it's called. So choose Window, Interactive, Buttons and Forms. To add an action to the selected shape, click the plus in the panel that opens up, and we'll keep it simple here by choosing Go to URL. Enter a website in the dialog box. You've got it. That button will now work when you export in different formats like PDF. The last step here is to share your presentation. You can export presentations in a few ways: PDF, publish online, or even EPUB. We'll choose PDF for this example. So to export, click Share up here and choose Quick Export as PDF. You can then choose smallest file size, so you might be able to email the presentation. Once you're finished, you now have a PDF that you can share with others. All right, to finish your presentation, you can use Acrobat or Acrobat Reader to share the document with others. Maybe to gather feedback, like you see here in Acrobat, where others can comment on a document using the different commenting tools available. And you can incorporate those comments back into your InDesign file by opening the PDF Comments panel in InDesign. In Acrobat, there are a lot of things you can do to the PDF once you have it created. You can also do something like add simple security so that somebody won't make changes to your document. There are lots of things we can do to our PDFs with Acrobat. Creating a compelling presentation can be done no matter what grade or experience level. As students progress through their learn journey, they can master their presentation creation skills, from Adobe Spark to Adobe InDesign to Adobe Acrobat. For a whole host of K-12 projects that make distance learning engaging, Visit the edX.adobe.com website.